Want to do it?
310-pound C-bum.
305.
305. Right.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Chris Bumstead, who appeared on Honey Rambo's YouTube channel. For a long interview I have to say. But the interesting part was that when he said next year is moving to men's open bodybuilding to challenge Derek Lunsford, and some fans are taking it very seriously.
I'm absolutely going to get to 300 pounds and compete in the open next year and beat Derek Lunsford. That's it.
There you go.
End it right there.
That's it. You heard it here, guys.
So the thing is, Chris Bumstead has talked about this previously. And the only scenario in which Chris will do men's open show is if it's scheduled just a few weeks after the Olympia. So hopefully that is going to happen this year. But the chances of that happening are looking kinda slim. So he could just not worry about making the weight class and show up big and full as a house. Just like we have seen him in some of his physique updates after the Olympia, or a few weeks before the Olympia. So in the past he mentioned Arnold Classic, that he would do the men's open if Arnold is scheduled about 4 weeks after the Olympia. Which I guess is never gonna happen, and the only time when that actually happened was back in 2021 because of COVID, when the Arnold happened just a couple of weeks before the Olympia. So Seba moving to men's open class and actually trying to fit in, but trying to get bigger, more food, try to grow before that. That just doesn't really make any sense for him. Because the thing is, he is already very conscious about his health. And he's at a point in his career where he's having these injuries, especially in the last couple of years. So this might likely be Sebum's last dance in Classic. So how serious is he about this prep? So these guys have done 2 Olympias together. And back in 2022, he came to Honey Rambo for his training at about 4 weeks out of the show. And this year he's out there with Honey Rambo at 16 weeks out. So that pretty much answers that question.
Out here at 16 weeks out. So
It took me until 6 weeks to cut down work and like 4 weeks out to come down here last year. So we're ahead of the game already.
yeah.
They're aiming for the best Chris Bumstead ever. So do let me know what you guys think. How will Chris Bumstead do in the men's open? Can he place as high as top 6? Or maybe top 10? Do let me know in the comments below. Next up, we have a physique update from Samson Dao. So I really wonder whether the top combaters ever get scared with the thought that what if Samson Dao finally nails his condition? What if he puts it all together? I mean, if that happens, how will anyone compete against a guy who has such enormous size, plus he has an amazing shape as well? Because the thing is, we rarely see such physiques. Samson has the height, he has got the width, plus he has got a super small waist as well. So his biggest criticism has always been his back, but more importantly, his lack of conditioning. And if we learned anything from his past Arnold Classic UK version, where Samson Dao was at his all-time best, and still he was unable to win, that only tells us one thing, that the judges want to see something more conditioned, something even more special from Samson. And maybe him moving to Kuwait, that can be that final factor that will allow him to present that special package that is expected by the judges. So with Derek Lunsford having the best back on the planet, and Hadi Choopan also showed up with an insanely improved back, I don't think the judges will ever give the Olympia title to Samson Dao, unless his back matches up to these guys, or at least up to his front. But do let me know what you guys think. Can Samson Dao win this year's Miss Olympia? Dubai Pro is happening in less than 4 weeks time now, and here we have an update from the former Classic Physique Miss Olympia champion, Breon. So this is the 2nd year for Dubai Pro, and this is gonna be one of the biggest events so far in terms of the prize money especially. So Breon is the biggest name competing in Classic Physique, and this is most probably gonna be the easiest 60 grand that Breon will make since he started competing in Classic Physique. So this will also be the first time in years when Breon is gonna be competing in any other shows other than the Arnold and the Olympia. So basically he's gonna stay in prep for roughly an entire year, and maybe that's a good thing for him, since he will always remain in that striking range for making his weight cutoff. Because we all know even with that increase in the weight limits, making the weight cutoff is still a challenge for Breon. So as of right now, he looks really great. His conditioning is top notch, and he still has about 4 more weeks. And it's nice to see his trainer and his coach Chris Cormier pushing him, especially in terms of training, as well as posing. Even though he most probably can win this show without being at 100%, but these guys are leaving nothing to chance. So since 2016, which was Breon's first year as a Classic Physique competitor, his lowest placing at the Olympia is 4th. But this year with Wesley Viers in there, as we all know he's going to be factor in that top 3, That can change things for Breon, because him and Urs are still very close. But do let me know what you guys think. Can Breon beat Urs again at this upcoming Miss Olympia? So next up we have a little update from Hunter Labrada at 9 weeks out of his first show of the season, which is gonna be Italy Pro. So anyone else thinks that Hunter's arms are looking absolutely incredible this year. He has been focusing on putting on size on his arms throughout this offseason, and I have to say that has paid off really well. The Hunter that we saw at Tampa Pro last year, that earned the respect of the entire bodybuilding community around the globe. And I have to say that was easily the best Hunter ever. And his coach Ben and him are planning to not only replicate that same look in terms of conditioning, but bring that same conditioning with an additional 5 to 7 pounds of muscle on his frame. And I think if he's able to do that, he is gonna be absolutely nuts on the stage. So Hunter is 5'9", so he is taller than Derek and Nick Walker as well. So that does give him a little bit of advantage over these two guys. So you can pick Hunter apart, and he isn't really missing anything, except for more ab separation. And I have to say this again, Hunter is gonna be a very dangerous competitor this year. And with all the improvements that he has made this year, he can easily be a top 5 competitor if he is 100% on. So back in 2021, Hunter was able to place his career's best, 4th at the Olympia. And if we compare that physique to one he presented at Tampa Pro, he's altogether a different and improved bodybuilder now. So this just proves to us how tough the competition has gotten since 2021 to 2024. We are at 14 weeks out of this year's Miss Olympia, and Wesley Vissers is looking so damn good. So what did you guys think? Is this the start of another era in classic physique? The Wesley era? Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. So the reigning Arnold Classic champion has wasted no time after winning both Ohio and UK. And that physique at 14 weeks out of the show, that is just incredible. So looking closely, he still has striated triceps, which is insane, considering he was at his career's heaviest, 280 pounds at the peak point of his off-season. And that was just about a couple of weeks ago. And still he managed to stay in such an incredible condition. So Wesley winning the Arnold Classic, that was a real turning point of his career. And it isn't like that success happened overnight. It took him a lot of years to get to this point. And he is at that position right now, where he is entering this year's Mr. Olympia as a legitimate Olympia title contender. I mean, the guy was struggling to place top 10 in some of his Olympia appearances up until 2020. He was coaching himself at that time. And let's give the credit to Stefan on helping him unlock his true potential. So we have had a very dominant champion in classic physique for 5 consecutive years now. But is Chris Bumstead retiring soon? Will Wesley or Ramon or any other guy be as dominant as Chris Bumstead? Now Wesley does have some really impressive traits. And if he can bring up his quads a little more, especially his hamstrings, I think this is gonna be a very hard guy to beat in the future. So the athletes' check-ins are happening for Portugal Pro as we speak. And although I have already mentioned William Bonac in my previous video today, but still I have to say that back double biceps, that is just out of this world right now by William Bonac. It's just too hard to ignore. Just look at the level of detail that he has right now. So all the credits to Web1 for capturing these amazing moments. So again, I have to ask you guys, what are your last predictions for this upcoming Portugal Pro? Is William Bonac gonna win his second Pro Show of the year? Or can Nathan Diasha beat William Bonac here and get his Olympia qualification? Do let me know in the comments below. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.